How you doing, Day One?
Doing all right. How you doing today?
Pretty good. So, I noticed that you haven't come in a while. What's going on since our last session?
I kind of hit another bump. Like I told you last time, one of those meaningful relationships kind of hit something rocky. Me and my girlfriend Taylor through a rough patch, for sure. A little hard to still talk about it, but throughout the session, I'll definitely try to give you more detail. But general speaking, that's what's been holding me up. We kind of went through a little hiccup with us being together. We just moved in about a couple weeks ago. Been together for about 6 months, and everything's going cool. But then things started to happen, and things started to pick up, and now I'm at a point where I'm feeling in that spot again. She's we're not really talking. I feel like I can't really trust her, and it's making me think that I can't trust other people around me. And I'm coming because that's concerning to me, even though I shouldn't feel like that. I really feel like everyone's against me, per se, with my relationships, my grandparent, my mother, my brother, and obviously my girlfriend, Taylor, or ex-girlfriend, whatever it is right now. But at this moment, I don't really know what to call it, just because it's like, I feel like I can't trust her. And I'll explain. Like, like I said, we just moved with each other.
Right.
A month. And it's like going pretty smoothly, but then I start noticing things with her, per se. Just like I ask her a question, she get defensive. I don't know if there's something else behind that, but I felt like I was asking just, who is this on her phone? And she got defensive, and it started making me think. And then we tried to talk about it, and then it finds out it was like a work friend, been going out. So that makes me want to take a step back from not even her, but everybody else. So I'm just kind of feeling the spot of like, not really sure who I could trust or who I could lean on, because that was my go-to, that was my rock, really. And I kind of feel like I'm kind of carrying it over to, even my grandmother. It's like I'm trying to distance myself from her, or my brother, trying to distance myself, or my mother. Like people in my life who are supportive, but it seems like to me that, and I can't stop the thought that what if something happens again? Like what if they hurt me? You know what I mean? So I don't really know. I'm kind of trying to seek some advice, trying to seek some counseling on like how to handle this situation.
So during this process, what have you noticed that has been troubling you? Like, even though you said that it was a work friend, did that still bother you?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I don't think the friend part's bother me, because everyone has to have a friend. Like there's only two genders and stuff like that. Like you're gonna have to talk to somebody. Right. But I think it's the fact that it's just like the domino effect. Who is this? And then I'm finding out through a text message, and not you telling me like, this is how my day went. This is who is new. This is something out the blue instantly, and now I'm trying to play catch up and trying to get information. So maybe that's a little alarming that it happened like that. Right. But the thought doesn't really bother me too much. It's just like, this is a kind of recurrent thing, because I had some past relationships where it's that exact same thing. Just kind of that, I'm finding out and I'm trying to catch up, and why didn't I know this from the jump and stuff like that. So that's probably the most alarming indication, is that this wasn't told. Like I'm kind of blindsided by it. But I think that's the only troubling part with it.
So do you feel like anxiety of not knowing things? Because you said
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I definitely feel like that might be on the right path, because I feel like when I'm out the blue, I feel super anxious. I feel like I'm not really there. If I don't know all the P's and Q's, then I'm something's missing. Right. And I kind of get, especially with this situation, I definitely feel a little get worked up, or I want to back up from the situation, back up from her and stuff like that. So.
And have you had this conversation with her, or have you just handling it by yourself?
That's another good question. I really, I had that initial one, got defensive, and that's when I shut down. It's hard for me, to try to keep egging on, because once I get in my head, I feel like I'm just in my head, and like for me, I'm like, what is there more to talk about? I see it, like I see the pattern, but I didn't, except for that initial conversation when I seen it, we haven't like sat down and talked about it. Nor have we expanded on it, because I kind of wanted, like I said, I've been in this funk again.
And do you think like not expressing your feelings has trickled down to everybody else and how you treat them?
Honestly, that brings a great point. I didn't really think about me not really expressing my feelings it affecting them. But now that you bring it up, that might be something that, you know, because they really don't know me or something like that, or know how I'm feeling if I don't tell them. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's something we could work on, setting up a goal or something, like trying to tell at least one feeling a day. But I just feel like at this moment, I really don't. And this makes me not even want to anymore because I just feel that insecurity of not knowing.
And so I guess what my question would be is, when you want to do this goal setting, what would you want that to look like?
Okay. Definitely end goal be progress. Probably the initial goal setting would be trying to let those people know and trying to let everyone else know how I'm feeling instead of just like letting it in. That could be like per week, or that could be, you know, once a day or something like that. Just to I don't know, just to try to get it going, because maybe holding it in isn't what's working, because it makes me feel like this with Taylor. So I don't know how it's gonna make me feel like that with someone else. Basically.
And I think that you've also noticed that honestly it has become a problem, because you did just say, you know, obviously you want to work on these things.
Yeah.
And obviously that you want to try to express yourself and get better at these things. And I guess my next question for you would be, how does that look when you have accomplished that goal? You know, when you have told everybody how you feel, or you know, just express your feelings and trying to be more aware of your feelings. What does that look like for you in the future?
I think that definitely looks like a more positive day one, you know, a more optimistic person, because, you know, how I'm feeling now, I don't think that's going to help anyone around me, you know, brighten up anyone's day. But I feel like, to answer your question, I think that would really make people around me and me feel a lot better and a lot more secure, because, you know, I don't tell Taylor how I'm feeling because I think it's going to start more of a fight. So what do? I just wait, you know, wait till it's something like this, and now I feel like it's too late. Or if I do it with my brother or my mother, my grandmother, and I'm just waiting, I'm waiting not to tell them how I feel, then I just, you know, creates a more, you know, bad situation. But like for the goal setting, I think definitely the outcome would be me being expressive of how I'm feeling towards something. But I feel like that's a lot easier said than done, because, you know, I thought that same thing with Taylor, but now it's like I couldn't say it in the moment because it's hard to talk about. It's hard to bring up, because, you know, I guess I don't know if that'd be insecurity or something, but I don't know, it's kind of a lump in my throat when I tried to bring it up.
Do you think this lump in your throat is a fear of confrontation, or is it a fear of, you know, not knowing what it looks like if you have this conversation with her?
I don't know about the confrontation. I kind of feel like I don't want something so good to end badly, but at the same time, I don't know if I need to let go, because it's that fear of the unknown. Not to sound confusing, but it's like, you know, what if I do bring this up and it is something of my worst fear? But what if I do bring it up and it just makes her feel like I'm being insecure and I can't trust her? I feel like there's so many routes that could go negative if I do bring it up, that it's not worth bringing up to her. You know what I mean? Because it could be seen as something so little. It's like, why would you even think that they want, you know?
So, and I can see where you're saying that. But even if then, you know, if this is somebody that you want to be in your life, right?
Yeah.
How would you feel if they didn't come to you and communicate?
That would make me feel, you know, some type of way. I you know, I always think, well, I'm not in someone else's shoes. I can't think how they feel, but you know, that question makes it seem like I wouldn't want that done to me. And I see what you're saying. Why would I want that done to other people? But I don't know. I kind of feel a little hurt. I kind of feel like you don't want me to know. Do you not trust me enough? Well, I don't know. It just kind of creates a little anxiety of just having that talk with that person face to face, instead of, you know, with you or someone who could be unbiased. It's like, what happens if they get mad? I can't stop that.
And so I'm thinking now, what do you feel like would be the best option for you to express yourself? Is it, you know, writing something down, or, you know, or taking your time and even telling her like, hey, we need something, we have to talk about something? You know, just a suggestion. Like, what does that look like for you?
I think writing down, that's a great idea, because, you know, it's a step. It's a step in the right direction. It's not obviously me having that confrontation just yet, but it is me directing it at that person. So I think writing down, you know, on a piece of paper, you would say the situation, just how I'm feeling, like per something happens. Yeah, I think first time that happens, that'd be, it'd be perfect because I'm getting it out. I'm not,
not holding it in.
Yeah, not holding it in. I think that'd be best because, when I feel like I hold things in, I get, like I said, I get in that place that I don't like being in. And that just creates, hostility and stuff like that inside. So I think that'd be, I think that something that's achievable.
Right.
Just to kind of write it down, just to kind of get it out of me, but to still have it where I'm able to maybe just give it to her or just, I think that's something in the right direction for sure.
And I noticed that you said, that's like the first step.
Yeah.
And that's honestly amazing that you recognize that, because obviously we want to get to a direction and a goal that, you are having these conversations.
Yeah.
And so once you have this conversation, what do you think it's going to look like for the rest of, your family and your friends? Because I know you said that it turned out to be something where a scenario where you feel like you can trust anybody.
Yeah.
So having this conversation with Taylor, how could that free up anything else?
I think that conversation with Taylor, like we still do with just steps, is obviously one of the biggest steps. But once that step happens, I feel like any other conversation would be manageable. It would be, I could go to that person, write it down, or if I'm past that step, confront them about it, and that would just ultimately just spring that relationship and not hold anything back. Because I feel like if you're holding anything back, it's not gonna be healthy. That's why I feel like I need to be here today and have these sessions. Because I do feel like I'm holding something back from her. Because I just can't talk to her about that. But I think it would really free up those other relationships to have it, blossom to something beautiful. If I'm not, holding on to a feeling that somebody said to me or somebody did and just holding it inside. I think that would be amazing.
And that would be the ideal thing, right?
Yeah.
But what do you think, what revs you up so much that makes you feel like that you can't talk to Taylor about these things?
Man, that's a good point.
Because you say like that it's affecting everybody else, and I kind of want us to work towards what could be the problem with that. You know what I mean? So is it that when you get ready to talk to her, are you just nervous? Do you not want to make her mad or angry, or do you not want a situation to just blow up in your face because you're not ready to talk about it?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I would never want to see something like, somebody I love just kind of walk out, but I think it's kind of something, I guess stuff in the past that's happened, relationships that, I was looking too deep at a certain thing, and then that person looks at me a different way because I think like that. And I don't want that to happen with Taylor because I don't know if it's something on me or if it's something that's really happening. So that just kind of creates like a tug of war on which way to go. Just kind of making me feel like part of me wants to bring it up, part of me doesn't want to ruin it by overthinking and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's just me being afraid for it to blow up. It could be the wrong thing or the right thing, and I just don't know if I'm ready to face that with her per se, like with this topic, because it's something I feel like most relationships is a downfall. Like I said, I had other relationships like that. And all the other relationships that I had that feeling and I didn't want to bring it up and I eventually did, I was right about it. So that could be why, I don't know why, I really just don't. I do, but I don't. Because, like I said, every other time I have, it's been
a problem.
Yeah, it's been over.
And do you think you still hold that like anxiety from other relationships too? Do you think you still hold that baggage on yourself too?
I think unconsciously sometimes. I look at Taylor as a new woman and a new avenue, but I think I take those burns and I take those like scars with me as memories to like remember and to see signs, and I think I might look at those signs too deeply. But at the same time, those are signs for a reason.
Right.
And I don't know, that's why, like I said, I feel like I'm at a tug of war, because if I'm seeing a sign, how do I not correlate it? How do I not put that with this and bring it up to her in not an aggressive manner and not accusing? Because in my head, I feel like it's already done.
Right.
It's already, I've seen what I need to see, and I've seen it before.
Right.
It's like touching a stove, it's hot. You're not going to see the same stove and touch it.
Right.
But I don't know, I think, like you bring up a point, maybe I'm taking too much of that to this, making me feel like that, but I don't know, maybe the first step would try to be write it down how I'm feeling, but this feeling is going to go away when I leave here. Right. It's not going to go away. But like I said, I think I'm here because I want to help. Right. I want to make it better. I want to to improve myself. But like I said, I'm just carrying. I'm carrying those past burdens with me, and seeing too many signs.
So, or for us to move on, like obviously you said you have those past burdens, and you have Taylor, which is new in your life. What do you think that we could do that can help you potentially, heal from these past burdens in order for you to move on and have these conversations with Taylor?
I think addressing it. I don't know if I fully addressed it. I know my first real relationship was about 1.5 years, and it ended with like her cheating on me. So I initially took that on myself and was like, what did I do wrong? And I never got clarification or anything about that. And then the next one was something very similar. I want to say it was like 6 months, but it's still and it was somebody else. So now it's like I kind of feel like, is it me? And I don't know. People always tell me, oh, you're a good guy, but then it's like things happen. So I'm just kind of confused on the process on what to do, because I try to put my best foot forward. I feel like I do my due diligence and stuff like that, but then I feel like it's situations like these, or little tugs like these, that make me question, okay, like, is it me? So,
and do you think not having that idea, that solace, that pretty much that inner peace, do you think that it's because of you and what you have done? Do you think you can kind of work past it, or do you think that you're still in the same place blaming yourself?
That's a great point. I kind of feel like it was probably one of those unconscious things again, where I'm maybe just like holding on to something back there, keeping it on the truck, and just not really letting it go. And I don't know if that's resulting in me like micromanaging the situation and trying to like see every little thing, because I do feel like it's affecting my relationship. I don't know why. Like the thought, it just keeps swirling in my head, but it makes me like not be able to sleep at night, or it makes me like not be able to want to like be near her or something like that. But then the other second, I'm like, I'm doing too much, I'm thinking too much, and I just need to relax. And that's when I kind of feel like, but then a few moments later, triggered again. And it's just like, okay, this is reoccurring. I don't know if it's this deep, or if I need to have someone be unbiased and look at the situation themselves and see it.
Do you feel like you come up with the outcome before you even handle the situation, just to soften the blow?
Oh man, I think sometimes so too. Like I see like with this one, maybe I'm doing that with myself just to soften the blow. But like I haven't talked to her about it, which is probably the biggest thing. Probably the hardest thing is just to confront her. But I don't know if, like you said, like I don't know if I'm ready to do that and handle the outcome that I put in my head already. Because it could be the opposite, but I think maybe it's just me connecting what happened in the past, and then trying to.
Do you think that it could be some type of relationship where you can be real with yourself and pretty much, or either practice these conversations by yourself before you go address it to others? Thinking about I know we talked about this in our last session. Thinking about going into the conversation. What do you want to talk about? How does this affect the relationship and what you want the outcome to be?
Gotcha.
I think you practicing that could kind of help you, in the future with these difficult conversations, because if you know what you want to talk about and how you want to have what outcome with that person, I think that could help a ton.
I think that's a kind of an optimistic approach too, because I want the outcome to be that me and Taylor move past this and we grow healthy and that we go stronger. But I don't know how strong that would work if I keep thinking about this myself. And I think thinking about that outcome to be optimistic might kind of change my point of view on it. But after talking today, I definitely feel like I'm having a good point of view on it, instead of thinking it's just me and like I'm doing too much, but actually talking with her instead of just having this in my head, and having that positive outcome. Because I think just addressing how you said maybe it's the past relationships makes me connect to my mind that really evaluating this is Taylor, this isn't anyone else, so I need to treat her as such, and I think that would ultimately be the best thing for me.
And I think that was pretty good because now we addressed it where now we can see that 1, you said you want to address it. 2, you said you want to write things down. And 3, you know that you got to let go of those past things. So I think we're off to a good start. I think we got our best foot forward. And I think that this is going to be good. And I'm excited to see what you say when you come back. So do you have anything else for me?
No, I feel great about talking to you. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.